Fresh questions about free speech, policing, and the limits of public preaching in Britain have arisen after a Christian pastor was arrested in Bristol city centre after publicly commenting on Islam and transgender ideology. Last November, 58-year-old Pastor Dia Moodley was detained by Avon and Somerset Police on suspicion of inciting religious hatred under the Public Order Act 1986. Police say his comments about Islam and gender could be interpreted as anti-Islam and transgender rhetoric. Legally, inciting religious hatred means a person's conduct could stir hostility towards a protected group, a standard heavily debated by legal experts and civil liberties advocates. Mr. Moodley has denied any criminality, saying, "I am a law-abiding citizen, but it feels surreal that the police have criminalised me so harshly and repeatedly for peacefully expressing my Christian views in the public square." He added that the arrest has taken a profoundly negative personal toll and that he believes that the police see him as an easy target. "Unfortunately, I believe that the police view me, a Christian pastor, as an easy target and are afraid of others being offended by my lawful speech. This is two-tier policing in action." This is not the first time that Pastor Moodley has been in conflict with the police. In March 2025, he was twice threatened with arrest for breaching the peace, whilst preaching on Christianity and Islam, despite reporting that he was attacked by bystanders, including one man who allegedly threatened to stab him. In an earlier incident in 2024, police even ordered his preaching signs to be destroyed, including one that showed text from the Bible, a move that police later apologised for, admitting their actions were disproportionate. After his latest arrest, Moodley was held in a police cell for 8 hours and released under conditions that banned him from preaching in Bristol over the Christmas period, a restriction that was later dropped after he challenged it. Police also visited his home in January, questioned him further about the November incident, and invited him to a voluntary interview under caution. Pastor Moodley's legal support comes from ADF International, who say that this case is part of a broader pattern where peaceful religious speech is being misconstrued as criminal. Their counsel argues that unless Parliament clarifies free speech protections in public spaces, similar clashes between police and street preachers will continue, potentially chilling lawful expression of belief. Jeremiah Iganubal, legal counsel for ADF International, has said, "Pastor Dia's arrest for peacefully commenting on Islam and transgender ideology shows police are using public order legislation to impose de facto blasphemy laws in the UK. Pastor Dia's case shows how authorities can misconstrue peaceful comments on Islam as hateful or criminal. This misconstruction will be repeated unless clarity is provided to preserve the ability of citizens to peacefully comment, discuss, and criticise in accordance with their core beliefs." Avon and Somerset Police have since been contacted for comments but are yet to respond. Critics of this case point to other instances where street preachers have faced police scrutiny over controversial speech, including historical cases where arrests were later overturned or criticised for suppressing free expression, while supporters of stricter policing argue that authorities must balance free speech with protecting communities from genuinely hateful or inciting language.
Every time your phone connects to public Wi-Fi, anyone nearby could snoop on what you're doing. Hackers can steal your information, passwords, photos, and bank details in just seconds. ExpressVPN encrypts your connection, making it virtually impossible for hackers to access your personal information. ExpressVPN is so easy to use. With just one click of a button, you're protected. Streaming, banking, or shopping, you can switch between high-speed servers worldwide in seconds, and your connection never slows down. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code to get up to 75% off, plus 4 extra months free, all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. Protect your online life today.
As debate around free speech and blasphemy law in the UK continues to heighten, US officials have expressed a will to take on UK citizens who have been persecuted for peacefully expressing their views. Donald Trump's administration is reportedly now in discussions to grant refugee status to a man who burnt the Quran outside of Turkey's London embassy, should he lose his High Court appeal. State Department officials are making preparations to assist Hamid Koskan in leaving Britain if on the 17th of February the ruling goes against him. Lord Toby Young, director of the Free Speech Union, recently waded in to brand this as an embarrassing situation for Prime Minister Keir Starmer.
This is, as a Brit here in DC, Toby, pretty embarrassing actually for me and my fellow countrymen and women here, that we could potentially now have maybe the first ever British refugee to America.
Yes, it would be extremely embarrassing, I think, particularly for Sir Keir Starmer, who is Mr. Human Rights, after all. So for an asylum seeker who's come to the UK fleeing persecution in Turkey to be granted political asylum in America on human rights grounds because his human rights are endangered in Britain, I think would be hugely, hugely embarrassing for Sir Keir Starmer and the Labour government. But, Leo, I think it's only going to progress if Hamid Koskan loses his case on Tuesday. So the Free Speech Union and the National Secular Society are paying to defend Hamid on Tuesday. The story is that he was originally convicted for burning a copy of the Quran in protest outside the Turkish consulate in London. He was convicted of a religiously aggravated public order offence, and the Crown's case was, well, he caused public disorder because a Muslim fanatic who saw him burning the Quran outside the Turkish consulate attacked him with a knife. That was disorderly conduct, so therefore Hamid should be prosecuted for causing religiously aggravated disorder. Ridiculous charge. He was originally convicted, but that conviction was overturned on appeal. We thought that was the end of the matter, and he was now a free man. But the Crown Prosecution Service is appealing his acquittal, and that hearing is taking place in the Royal Courts of Justice on Tuesday. And if the court overturns his acquittal and upholds the conviction, that will effectively create a Muslim blasphemy law by the back door. It will send a message to Muslim fanatics up and down the country that if they want to enforce Islamic blasphemy codes, all they have to do is violently attack the blasphemer, and the blasphemer will then be charged with a religiously aggravated public order offence. It's a recipe for chaos. It'll be the death knell for free speech in Britain. It'll cause a huge rise in community tensions. Why should Islamic blasphemy codes be embedded in our criminal law, but not Christian blasphemy codes, which were scrapped 18 years ago? It's mad, but the CPS are determined to make the burning of the Quran by hook or by crook a criminal offence. And if that happens, if Hamid loses, then it looks like he'll be on his way to the United States.
I mean, the whole case is so chilling, and what's particularly disturbing, as you just mentioned, Toby, this gentleman came from, I think it was Turkey, to flee the Islamists. He was given refuge in the UK, and he has said tonight, if I lose this case and I have to seek refuge and asylum in the United States, Britain has fallen to Islamism. What are the chances? What do you think is going to happen at the? Is it the High Court? What do you think intuitively is going to happen? Is the CPS going to lose the case?
It's the Court of Appeal, and I imagine there'll be several judges considering this extremely carefully. The judge who overturned Hamid's conviction is a High Court judge, and his judgment was excellent. He essentially said that even though some people will clearly find the burning of a Quran deeply offensive, that's not a reason that it should be against the law. Free speech includes the right to offend people. It was a fantastic judgment, and as I say, we thought that was the end of the matter. But the CPS seems absolutely determined to try and make sure that anyone who burns a copy of the Quran and who is attacked as a consequence is prosecuted in future, which is why it will pose, I think, such a grave threat to free speech.
Last question, Toby, before I let you retire to bed. Thank you for staying up so late. Appreciate it. Do you think somebody would get nicked for burning a Bible in a town centre?
I think that's frankly inconceivable. Remember the Crown's case here. The case of the Crown Prosecution Service is that because Hammett was attacked by a knife-wielding fanatic, his actions caused public disorder. Therefore, it was a religiously aggravated public order offence. And I can't imagine anyone burning the Bible being attacked by a Christian onlooker. It's essentially fanatical Muslims enforcing Islamic blasphemy codes by violently attacking people who breach them. And if the law effectively gives those people a stabber's veto, it will mean that from now on, everyone has to respect Islamic blasphemy codes, whether we are believers or not. Fingers crossed, Leo, that the Court of Appeal will see sense on this one and uphold Hammett's acquittal. I'm reasonably optimistic, but it's always hard to tell. Always a bit of a crapshoot when you go to the court.